This is going to be a long one. Just so we're all on the same page, Vincent Kennedy McMahon is a 70-year-old billionaire and one of the most successful wrestling promoters of all time. He's also one of the most controversial, having okayed angles including Mae Young giving birth to a hand, near racism with Booker T and Triple H, making fun of Jerry Lawler's heart attack, exploiting Eddie Guerrero's death, exploiting Scott Hall's alcoholism. This list is far too long already. Piggy James using Reid Flair's death in an angle, exploiting the Gulf War, and last but certainly not least, all of Katie Vick. These angles, amongst so many others, have led people to say Vince is out of touch. He never seems to push the wrestlers the crowd want. He has the worst sense of humour and refuses to change his way of doing things. However, I don't think Vince is out of touch. Actually, wait, no, let me rephrase that. I don't think Vince is any more out of touch than he has ever been. Ever since Vince has started in the wrestling business, he has done things his own way. He almost single-handedly destroyed the territories. He made Hulk Hogan into a national icon. He was one of the most important parts of the Attitude Era and still owns one of the most successful wrestling companies in the world. What is it with me and lists today? But yes, anyway, Vince. While he certainly could learn something from Ring of Honor, New Japan and even TNA with the success of the Broken Matt story, I can see from his perspective, they are doing things differently, but are nowhere near him in terms of commercial popularity. And if you disregard critical popularity, as we can be reasonably confident Vince does, then why would he want to change what he does? Raw still pulls in more viewers than any other wrestling show, and WWE have gone for nearly 2 decades without any real competition. This probably has made Vince a lot more complacent than when he was fighting each and every week just to keep his company afloat. And to be honest, after nearly 50 years in the business, he deserves a relax. But complacency is very different from the one-size-fits-all reasoning of Vince being out of touch. Actually, that is probably the biggest issue I have with this line of logic. Vince being out of touch is always used as a reason to explain any issue the WWE is having, from the rise of PG television's constraints to his determined push of Roman Reigns. It fails to explain any of the reasons behind what he is doing, and just tries to hide behind a simple line of reasoning. The man is clearly passionate about his business and his company. He has been involved for nearly half a century and has always shown himself to be a savvy businessman. All of the fantasy booking people can do will never come close to the amount of work he has to put into making 5 to 10 hours of wrestling every week. And yes, he does miss a lot of opportunities, but the role of a writer is just a thankless task. He can get 100 angles right and will always be picked up on the one that got away. Face it, Vince is stubborn, his ideas and his reasoning have made him a billionaire, and he's way past the point of caring enough to change himself now. And it may be to the detriment of the company, but at this point it isn't much past his plaything. If he is out of touch, then it's understandable and helps build into the bizarre world of wrestling that has given us so much joy. And either way, we are seeing a lot of changes in Vince's disposition. Admittedly, it's all been very recent, but AJ Styles and Kevin Owens are the world champions. Heath Slater has a championship. Ric Flair's daughter is... Wait, no, ignore that one. But yes, since the brand split, so much has changed in the company, and it proves that Vince can change. It just takes an awful lot of convincing. So that's my message to take away from today. If you want Vince to be more in touch, pester him for between 5 and 10 years and you'll eventually change his mind a little. Isn't it nice to finish on a happy note? You can find me on Twitter at Ropeburn Wrestling or email me on chester@ropeburnwrestling.co.uk. I'd like to thank Kevin MacLeod for his track Cool Hard Facts, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. You can find it at incompetech.com.